In this webinar, we're going to introduce LS One and go through the main features and functionality of the system. My name is Anna-Kristin Jeppesen, and I work in the LS One team with product marketing. I've been with the team for over 8 years, and I've had roles within testing, documentation, and training and such. If you have any questions during the demo, please write them in the question and answer box of the GoToWebinar toolbar. And after the demo, I will go through the questions and answer. So, LS One is a POS solution which has a lot of functionality. It can be run on any Windows device, anything from a tablet, Windows tablet, to traditional hardware, POS hardware. It's packed with great functionality, and this functionality can be found in all the big retail system. And of course, we also have all the important functionality any POS system has. We can create advanced discounts, manage your inventory, run a loyalty club, and we can also manage a full table service restaurant. And the best thing about LS One is that our partners can add to this functionality, customize it as they please, and connect the LS One to any ERP solution. The flexibility of LS One is that you can be running different kinds of businesses, supermarkets, restaurants, fashion, or any combination of these. So for an example, you could run a restaurant within your supermarket or a coffee shop within your bookstore, for an example. In LS One, size doesn't matter. With the possibility of connecting to ERP solutions, LS One can fit anyone. From one store, one terminal, to a complex multi-store environment, such as the one you can see on the image on the slide, where you have 2 stores, multiple POSs, and the back office is connected to an ERP system. Our partners have connected LS One to SAP, Standard Nav, Oracle, just to name a few. And you can run LS One either on subscription-based licenses or on-premise. The data can be hosted at your store, or you can host it in the cloud. And we're still not limited by network uptime, because the terminal can run offline when they need to. So if the network is down, the POSs can still run, and just connect up to head office and push their data there when the network comes up again. LS One consists of 2 main parts. We have the point of sale. That's one application which is run on the terminals. And we have a back office system we call the site manager. So I will refer to both of these while doing the demo. So let's have a look at LS One. Okay. Let's start with the site manager. So this is our back office. I have already logged in, and what we see is a traditional ribbon navigation and left-hand navigation. So you can choose which one you like or prefer to use. We also see the dashboard, and the dashboard contains tickets, different functionality in the site manager, can post tickets on the dashboard and let you know, for an example, the backup ticket is letting me know I haven't backed up my database for a while. So if I had once done that, it would count the days since I did my last backup. And this is a neat functionality for the small business owners who are doing their data management on their own. And we have other informational tickets and telling the user he needs special attention to something. We also have a search functionality, so you can not only navigate, you can search for functionality. And I have already entered the word store in the search, and then you can both find a store with the store in the name. You can find a user which has a store in its name, and you can find all operation that includes this. For an example, if I write a customer, I find all the customer operations available, but I can also write a customer name, and I will find all the customer called Tim. So in this way, you can both be searching for customers, items, stores, terminal, and so on, and users. And for the navigation, if we have a look at the left-hand navigation, you find the different operations from here. So if I go into retail items, I have the list of all my items. Now, let's have a look at the POS. I open POS. In the POS, you can either be logging in with a username and password or with a token. And a token can be either you scanning an MSR card, scanning a barcode. It could be a Dallas key or whatever equipment that inserts some code into the token field. And this can be added to by our partners and customized also. So I just enter my token, as I don't have any specific hardware. And the POS is open. So what we are looking at here is one of our layouts, POS layouts. You can create any layout you want. So you can move this around and you have a drag and drop editor I will show you in a while. On the left-hand side, we have the receipt panel. So here all the item sale pops in. We have a total box displaying the totals of our sales. We have a message and an image box, which you will see in action just in a while. The customer panel will show if a customer has been added to the transaction which is going on. And then we have 3 different button grids. You can add up to 5 different button grids to your POS. And here we have the button grid with the red house button on top. This is like a navigational button grid. So if I press the buttons on this, I navigate between different operations on the right-hand side. So you can create advanced navigational system within your POS and organize all the operation your cashiers need to be easy to find. Then, of course, if you have a look at the blue buttons, we have some item sales buttons down there. So here we can have sub-menus which open over the button grid I am using. And we can have pop-up menus. So now let's have a look at how this works. And we can sell an item in multiple ways. And if we start by selling an item by entering the item ID. and I sell a liter of milk. We can also sell by scanning a barcode. I can also enter the barcode as I did now, and I sell the same item. We have the button sales. So here I have the same item on a button, so I can sell it that way. We can also sell from the item search. So if I search for milk, I get the item milk items up. You could also have it with images, so I can see which item I am selling. This can be nice for vegetables and fruit, for an example, having the images there. And all these lines, when they're open in the receipt, can be edited. So I can edit one line and set the quantity to something else. This can be done in multiple ways also. So when I sell an item, I can also enter the quantity first and then sell an item. I can sell an item and then enter the +1 button up here. So in that way you can sell multiple items. You could also void items from the edit menu with the pencil on. You void items, you can change the unit of measure, do a price override, and things like that. Of course, all these operations have permission, and the user I am logged in as needs this permission to operate these or perform these operations. So not all might be able to void items and return items, for an example. So if we finish this transaction by doing a payment, we have multiple payment methods. And if I, for an example, I'm gonna do a partial payment with foreign currency, first you start by selecting the currency you want to use. I'm selecting Icelandic krona. It tells me the amount in Icelandic kronas, and let's say I have 1,000 Icelandic kronas, and pay with that. And it is calculated with our exchange rate to euros. And then I pay the rest with cash, for an example. And let's do an over tender. And the POS tells the cashier how much money back the customer should get. And the drawer would, of course, open at this point. And the transaction is done. So if we have a look at the receipt, this is my virtual printer. And the receipt looks something like this in the virtual printer. Cannot print just the image or the logo, but the text is all there. The receipt also has a graphical design layout editor, which I'm going to show you briefly in a while. So this receipt can be edited as the customer wants to have it. Okay, so of course we can return an item, and you can do this either by returning a single item. So if I press the return item button, we go into return mode, and the next item entered into the POS will be returned instead of bought. So you can also do this with a return transaction operation, where you enter the receipt number of the transaction and select which items of that receipt should be returned. And this can be done centralized, so you don't have to be at the same store or at the same terminal even that you did the purchase on. So if I return appointment diary, for the return operation, an info code is called, and this info code captures a reason code for the return. So this is just codes that I have created when I set up my system. And I am returning the item because I disliked it. And now we have a negative balance at the POS. And for negative balances, we can, for an example, do a credit memo or store credit. So if I press the credit memo button, something happens. A credit memo is printed, and the printed credit memo has an ID. And this ID can be used as a payment later on. So if we go to the site manager, the back office, I can go to gift cards and credit memos and have a look at the latest credit memo. So this is the credit memo I was created and can be used as a €3 payment into some other transaction. The credit memos and gift cards are kept centrally. So this information would be kept at the head office, for an example. And we have a service running in the background which would collect this information to the stores when needed, both from the POSs and from the site manager. The gift cards work in a similar way. So if we want to issue a gift card, it depends on the settings of your system how the gift cards are sold. And in my settings, I can enter whichever gift card ID I want. So if you had pre-printed or plastic card with a number on, I could enter these numbers and say our gift card is number 333. And then I just enter any amount on that gift card, €100 for an example, and sell it. Then we get a gift card item, which I pay for, and my gift card is created in the back office. So 333 was the gift card I was creating, and we have a €100 gift card. And if we want to use such a gift card, I sell, I go to the tender menu, press gift card, the gift card number, this can be scanned if it has a barcode, for an example, gets the balance. So this is collected to the central unit, to the back office, and we have done a payment. One of the latest features in LS One is that we have changed our variant framework. That is, variants of items, such as size, color, and style we had before, can be created dynamically. So you're not limited to the sizes, colors, and style dimensions, but you can create whichever dimensions you like and how many you like. So if I sell an item, I created a variant item called a jacket, and my jacket has 3 dimensions, and it's color, size, and sleeves. And you can create as many attributes for each dimension that you want. So white is an attribute, for an example, for color, and then I can select the attributes of the item I am selling. So now I'm selling a large white jacket with regular sleeve length. And if we go to the site manager and have a look at this, we go to the retail item menu. My jacket item is here at the top. And this is the header item. If I expand it, I can see each and every one of the variant items I'm selling. So each variant is an item, and the variant item can therefore be used in all the functionality that we have for items. So you can create advanced discount offers for the items. You can do all the inventory that we did for items before, and so on. So the variant items have been pulled up to the item level. And if you want to do a multiple edit, say that the red jackets, you can see that the prices have been changed, so the price is not the same for all the jackets. I can do a multiple or a bulk edit of these items. So I go and bulk edit all the red jackets. And as soon as I change something here, I say, okay, the price, that's before tax though, is 100. And when I close, this is saved to all the items I had selected. You can see that I have changed the price with the green line, and I'm sure I want to do the change for all the items. And if we expand this again, we can see that the red jackets have been updated to 120 because I set the price to be 100. This is showing the price with the tax. And that's actually something you can edit in the system if you want to see prices with or without tax. Regarding prices, we have the base price, and I was changing the base price of the jacket just now. But we can have customer-specific pricing. So if you organize your customers to groups, for an example, you could give a customer group a special price for a product or a product range. And these price groups are based both of the customer groups and the stores. So you can have different prices in different stores, and you can have different prices for different customer groups. And you can do a combination of these. We can also do different kinds of discount. We can do discounts in the same way based on customer groups and store groups. So only a group of customer gets this specific discount. We can do, and if I go back here to the POS, I'm going to sell a refrigerator, and I can give a manual discount. So of course my user needs a permission to do this, and I'm going to give it a line discount of 10%. So now this refrigerator has 10% discount. I can also give discounts in amount. So instead of 10%, I give $10 or 10 euros or whatever. And we can give total discounts, which will give discount to all the items in the receipt, as long as those items can have or can be sold with a discount. And the same with total discount by amount instead of percentage. For the more advanced discounts, we have automatically calculated discounts. So for example, I created a discount offer which includes a couple of items. It's a 25% discount. So if I sell an item included in this discount, it should get automatically this 25% discount. So I have sold Tim and Tina wear blouse, and I automatically get 25% discount. The discount offers can be valid by periods, and in a period we could, for an example, say it's valid this week. We can say it's valid lunch on Fridays. We can say do a happy hour after work and things like that. So you can create a discount which is only available during a specific period of dates. Okay. that was discount offer. We can also do multi-buy offers, and multi-buy offers are made in such a way that if you sell, for an example, if you sell 5 items of 5 pieces of an item, you get 5% discount. If you would have a next threshold, 10% if you sell 10, and so on. And mix and match discounts, which are the most complicated in LS1. You can create any offers you like, almost. So this can be a combination of any items. So you can make a lunch deal with a sandwich and a drink, for an example. And here I have an offer where you have to sell 1 swimsuit Linda Beach and either a skirt Linda or a towel. So you can sell 1 pink line and 1 of the green lines. And the colors are just to make it easier to see which lines of the offers are in the same group. So let's try this. If I sell the swimsuit, and then I want to sell the towel, and as soon as I sell a towel, the mix and match offer is triggered. So you saw when before there was no on the swimsuit, but as soon as I sold the towel, the mix and match offer was triggered. And you don't have to sell this one after the other. You can have other items sold in between. But the offer would still be discovered and applied. So if we have a look at customers, I'm just going to finish this transaction. Customers can be added to our transactions, and I have a customer search here for an example. And if I add my customer Brad and Sons to the transaction, you can see it pops up in the customer box in the POS. And the customer, we have the customer can pay into their account, and so if Brad comes in and buys a couple of milk here, they can charge this to their customer account. And when I do this, you can have a look at it in the site manager, customers, and then find Brad, and I have a customer ledger. So the Brad has a credit limit of 50,000 euros. His balance is minus 21, but the total sales are 31. He has already once made a payment. So you can see the red and green lines. These are all the transaction in and out of this customer account. So in this way, your customers can charge to their account, do invoices, and pay into their account. And this can be done either through the site manager or the POS, that is adding to the account. We can create from the POS. So if a customer walks into your store, you can create them directly at the POS. And we have that operation here, add a customer. And when a customer is created here, it will be sent up to the head office level too. So it is created in the POS database and at the head office level, and it will be pushed from the head office down to all the stores. So just in a matter of minutes, you will have this customer available at all your stores and terminals. And you just fill in here and create the new customer. You can also do loyalty. So if we go to the loyalty menu here, we'll do a loyalty request. We've already added a loyalty card to a customer. And here I would be scanning the code, of course, with a card reader. This is not correct number, sorry. And I find Gabrielle. And with this operation, I can see the balance of her loyalty card. And according to her scheme, you can create different scheme, how much these points are worth. So when I press OK, I have already added Gabrielle to my transaction and the loyalty card. So for what she buys now, she will get loyalty points. And you can, in the scheme, define how many points she gets per either item she is buying or per euro she is spending. So for an example, in this scheme, she gets 2 points for any item which is in the non-food retail group or retail department. But she only gets 1 point for the food items. So 2 points for non-food items per euro. So we'll pay for this and have a look at the receipt. And now you can see fields which were not on the receipt before. The customer field, who is the customer, the loyalty card number, how many points she has collected already, and how many points she got for this transaction. She didn't use any points on this transaction, and that's why that's empty. So these fields only print if any information is added in the customer or loyalty transaction information. In LS1, one of the newest features are doing customer orders. And the customer orders can be used to integrate with e-commerce systems, for an example, so that the customer orders would be created in the e-commerce system. And the connection there is a partner creating a connection to Shopify, for an example. So if we create a customer order on our POS, I'll just start by selling some items. A dishwasher, for an example. And I have to, no, I'll go here, sorry. So we create a customer order. We can select which delivery and source this is. This is just something I have created at the site manager, which delivery and sources. This is just informational. So you create whichever you want. So this is a walk-in customer, and he will collect it at the store. I do need to add the customer to this transaction. If the customer had already been selected, it would be populated automatically. But now we have to say, okay, it's Sue Smith who's buying this dishwasher. We go to the next step. And this is the dishwasher. I'm only buying the dishwasher, and I'm doing this order. If I had some other items, I could move them to be picked up directly. So I can do a partly order and a partly something you are picking up directly. When I finish this, this is an order in my system. So, and we have set the minimum, what do you call it? What you have to pay when you pick or do the order is 10%. So now I have to check this out. I go to paid deposit. It's called deposit, the word I was looking for. And I have to pay 10%. So I pay the 30, and my order exists in the system. So if we go to recall customer orders, it was the walk-in customer. This is the order I was just creating. And next time I can say, okay, she's coming to get this. I will select it. It is back in my system, and now we'll do a pick up entire order, pay for it, and she will get her dishwasher. So if we go to the site manager, I'm going to show you a little quickly the functionality I was talking about before, and that is the design of the POS. So we can edit the design of our POS in the site manager, and this is a drag and drop menu editor. So if I press change design here, I can both add components to my design just by dragging them in like this and placing them in the design. And you can redesign the menus by just clicking and dragging. Now I'm running just this design, so I'm not going to save the changes. Just gonna revert and close. And if I go back to the slides for a second, I have a couple of different layouts I can show you. So here is an example. It's the same layout. I've just changed the color scheme. And then we have a couple of others. Here you can see the menus totally reorganized. And this one was created for a restaurant with only button sales, no scanning. So you don't need the numpad in there. And all these different button grids, you can have different button or different layout on different terminals. You can have different layout in different stores. You could have different layout for different users. So when one user logs in, the POS looks a bit different than if another user logs in. And in this way, you could have for different user groups, only the operations you are allowed to run are visible, for an example. Or for a left-handed user, the buttons can be, you know, the other way around, closer to the left hand, or things like that. And we also have a graphical layout editor for the forms, or that is all printable receipts. So if we have a look at the customer receipt, this is the receipt we have been looking at printed. So if we zoom into the header, all the yellow boxes are variables. So at runtime, when the receipt is printed, this is replaced with the actual store name. This is only printed if it is a copy of the receipt being printed. The receipt number, obviously, and so on. These are variables entered on runtime. All the white fields are just labels, text, which we have inserted. So in this way, you can have a look at the header, the lines. So this is one line and all information that can be printed for one line, item line in the POS or at the receipt. And then for the footer, same as the header, you can enter variables for the totals and some texts. So it's nice drag and drop layout editor. For inventory, in LS One, we have a replenishment system. So if I go in here, I'm going to have a look at, a retail group with soft drinks. So these are all my items, all my soft drinks items. And if I open one of them, go to the replenishment tab, we have a look at the settings for replenishment. So you can either have a replenishment method of a stock level. That is, it is when you do a purchase order, you would order up to the maximum inventory, or you can do a like for like. So you will order as much as you have sold. My reorder point is 5 bottles. So if I'm below 5 bottles, this will be added to my purchase order, and it would be added up to the maximum inventory. You can do a purchase order multiple. That means if you're buying soda in cases of 12, for an example, the purchase order multiple would be 12 there, and it would round the order amount to something that goes by 12. You can do this. This is the default setting, but then you can have different settings for different stores. So the small store get less soda than the bigger stores, and so on. And with this, we can, create inventory template and purchase worksheet. So if I go into the soda inventory template, in that template, I've already created a filter, which is the same filter of items I was showing you in the retail item view. So these are all my soft drinks. And if I go to the worksheets, I already created a worksheet for this. And this is the worksheet. So here, this is created from the filter I was showing you. And I can change the quantity of each and every line. So today I want to buy extra many lemonade. I can change the quantity of that line by line here. And from this, I can post to create a purchase order. And one purchase order will be created per vendor, which is in this worksheet. So if there are multiple vendors, multiple purchase order will be created. We can have a look at such a purchase order here. I have one open. And here I have one of these purchase order with all the items from the worksheet added to it. This can be printed or sent as a PDF to the vendor. Okay, we can also do inventory adjustments, of course, where if something breaks, you can adjust the inventory. Stock counting. Stock reservation is showing you the status of all your customer orders. Stock counting is where you add your stock counts, and you can import these from Excel for an example. We can do goods receiving documents to receive the purchase orders, and then we can also do transfers between locations. So you can, one store can request inventory from another store, and the other store sends it back. So this can be handled in the site manager. If we go to reports, we have reports can be generated and imported to LS One. So you can import whichever report you like and want to use. We have a report library online where you can download the reports you like, and our partners can edit these reports customer liking. And I have an example here as sales by hour. I don't have a lot of sales data, so I'm going to go back in time some here. So my periods is quite long. I'm doing it for all stores, all terminals, all staff. You could select one or more stores when you do these reports. And I'm displaying gross sales. So here I get a list of everything I am displaying, and then, I get a list of the sales. And on page 2, I get a graph over the. So this is just an example of how the reports can be created. And this is used for the financial reports and things like that. Okay, now I just want to show you quickly in the POS. I need to just close this down. We can also do hospitality in LS One. So if I close this POS, I open the POS, POS again, and I open as a different terminal, a different store within the same company. So I log in, and now I'm at my restaurant. The restaurant has 3 areas. We have the bar area, which we are looking at now. We have a roast room and a patio. And this is just a group of tables. In my bar area, I have 16 tables. And you can see the different colors of the tables. The colors indicate the status of the table. The availables are in darker green. And the lighter green is where I have seated my guests. The yellow one is where our order has been partly printed. So I might have printed the starters or drinks, but not the meal yet. And the red ones is where everything which has been ordered has been printed in the kitchen. And so for an example, if I open bar table 9, I can do that by double clicking the table. I'm in the POS. And we can use menu types. And for menu types, you indicate which drinks are to be served with the starters, which meals you are selling are the starters. You know, you want to serve those first, and so on with the mains and so on. We can, we have, if we sell a couple of drinks here, I'm not using the menu types as is. And if we sell some food, and then I do a T-bone steak, and we want to say that we want to have it rare. I have additional comment buttons in my menu, so I can just press rare, and my T-bone steak will be, you get that information to the kitchen. There's some more comments buttons added here, and you could add whichever comment buttons you like. And if I sell, for an example, a margarita pizza, we can do item modifiers. So I have an item modifier on a margarita. So if I press the button change order, I can say, okay, I want to add toppings to my pizza. And if I say toppings, pepperoni, okay, I have added pepperoni to my pizza. So when I go back to the table view, I am offered to print these. And as I'm not using the menu types, I'm offered just to print everything at the same time. If I would be using menu types, you'd have different buttons for different menu types here, and I can say, okay, I'm only printing the starters now. So this was sent to the kitchen, and I have this on my printer. And this is the kitchen slip. So this is the slip sent to the kitchen. It is so narrow because the size is double. When you print it on an actual Opus printer, it would be displayed actually double the size of the letters. Yeah, and we can have different kitchen stations. So you can have one by the grill, you can have a salad bar or something like that, and then you can have a bar station. So different items are sent to their own station. And this is something you set up in the site manager, which item should be printed where. Okay, so this was the demo of LS One and a short demo of the hospitality module. And so if I go back to the slides, as I told you before, one of the best things with LS One is that our partners can customize it and add to it. And LS One is developed in C#.NET. It's a framework which is plugin based, so our partners can easily create a new plugin and add it to the site manager. These plugins can be also removed. So if you're not doing hospitality in your business, you can just remove the hospitality plugin, and all the features in the site manager which have to do with hospitality would just disappear. So it's not in the way. So in that way, we can control our back office really easily to be adapted to our customers. And the normal customization our partners are doing are EFT payment integrations, fiscalization for different countries, and connecting LS One to different ERP systems. So now we're over to the question time. I'm trying to see the questions I've got. So please, if you have any, let me know. How to set up a schedule for discounts. I can just show you. So if we go to the site manager, prices and discounts, I have to move my question panels out of the way. We have something called validation periods. In a validation period, here's a validation period. I have some dates. So I can say my starting date is one day and the ending date is another. And during that period, I can set different time periods. Okay? Or you can say, okay, on Mondays, I want from, let's say, from 1 to 2. Okay, but on Wednesdays, I want from 2, oh, sorry, it was supposed to be a Wednesday. Like this, 2, 2, 3, and so on. So now my offer, and you can see this is just to indicate that I have set up something for Mondays and Wednesdays. You can set up different periods per day for your week, and it will be valid between 2 separate dates. So I hope this clears a little bit of how you set up the validation periods, and then this validation period can be selected for a discount offer. Okay, anyone else has questions? This is the only question I have so far. If not, I'll just like to thank you for joining us today. And if you have any questions or oh, there's another question, sorry. Can we integrate with Dynamics AX? LS One can be integrated with Dynamics AX, but I think the licensing policy for AX is such that you always have to pay the retail part of AX, so I'm not sure it's worth it. That's something that has to be looked at on a licensing point of view. But LS One was built as the front end of our LS Retail AX, and this was sold sold to Microsoft in 2009. So it is the base for Axe for Retail. So LS One is the same system as Axe for Retail from 2009. And then we have developed it in separate directions, of course. What about interaction with NAV and licensing? There have been made a lot of connections to NAV, standard NAV, and you will have to buy some third-party integration license for NAV, I think. I'm not all that into NAV licenses, but that there do exist integrations to NAV, standard NAV. Okay. Any more questions? Otherwise, you can send them to me at anna@lsretail.com. The webinar will be available recorded, and just be in touch if you have any thoughts or questions. Thank you.